wasting valuable podcast time.
I was trying to fucking see.
Find the thing.
Anyways, welcome to UnProvoked, the podcast where we talk about all things that, get sent to provoke you and navigating through it in the most positive way possible.
So you positive. I'm not so positive.
And that's really the summary of our friendship. That is the yin to my yang.
Night and day. We're like night and day. What do we like? How do we meet? Like, where do we go with this first episode?
Yeah, I feel like how do we meet is a big one because I feel like we get a lot of backlash of how did y'all get here so fast?
Oh, y'all best friends already. Like, y'all, because y'all neighbors. Like, that's a lot of it, though. Like, a lot of people think because we're neighbors, that's why we're friends. That has nothing to do with it. So I met her in the playroom. In our building, we have a playroom. I met him in the playroom with my son. And I think after that, we kind of bumped into each other again. Right?
Mm-hmm. At the party.
Okay. I don't know if you want to go into detail. That's why I didn't really.
Okay. Well, stick a pin in that because that goes back to, obviously when I moved here, I was in a very different situation.
Not my story to tell.
I was in a very different situation. And when I met Shanice, my life was very different. And I think that is the best way to summarize how we did get so close because it's like my life completely did a 180. And she was really like the rock in all of it.
And the craziness is that my life is doing 182 at the same time, but you would have never known. That's how we met. But we didn't really sit and talk until we went to the pool. And that's when we kind of got to know each other. And then she was like, you should come to my bar. And if you know me, I'm a homebody. I stay home. I don't really talk to too many people. Like, my circle is my circle. And they kind of understand how I move. So for me to even step out of my comfort zone and go to the bar, and I went by myself, was a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
I had the most fun. But that night, she came by herself, whatever. But even then, it was one of those, like, oh, yeah, like, that's my girl from my building. But we didn't get here. Then, like, time kept going by. And like I said, my life was completely transitioning. And this was my rock. So it was like I lived like 30 minutes away from my family. She lived 30 minutes away from her family. And 30 minutes isn't a lot to many people.
30 minutes, no traffic. With traffic, it's like about an hour and change. And people act like we live like 3,000 miles away. 16 miles. Not a big deal. But we are far from our families.
So it was like we created basically like a family unit here. And there was times where just like little things that it was like I didn't even notice. It was like she was making sure like I was okay in all aspects. Mm-hmm. Like I want to have water in my fridge because I was on go. How do you say it? What? How was I living?
Bitch, you was living fast. She was like, she would wake up. When I first met her, she would like wake up, go to the pool, come upstairs, take a nap, go to work. That was her routine. Like go to the pool, wake up, eat, go to work. Like, that was it. You had, like, one day off, I think, when I first met you.
Not even.
Yeah, she was, like,
on my days off, I was working.
But she was on go because she was so, like, she wasn't able, like, to really feel whatever it is that she was going through, which we'll get into detail about at a later date. But she was on go. So it was like, all right, she don't have no water. Let me bring her water. We both drink seltzer water. So I'm making sure we both got what we need in the apartments because we only live, like, 4 doors down. So, I don't know. And now that you said it, now that you just said, like, oh, she came to see me at the bar, I now realize, like, you do meet a lot of people around here, and you had that, like, oh, come, and they'll come see you at the bar, but it ain't never been this. Period,
she said,
for real.
Y'all, that might be your bartender, but she is not me.
It ain't never been this, and it won't be. Sorry. But, yeah, and I'm realizing it now that you said it, like, I did come to see you, but that's like, a lot of people do that. Oh, come to my bar, and they'll come, and they'll sit, but it ain't never been this.
Yeah, no.
God sent.
I wish that. And it is never going to be me.
But in retrospect, we both were going through shit at the same time and didn't really know it. Like, literally going through shit at the same time and didn't know it. And it kind of made us bond. Like, we built a bond off of, damn, did we trauma bond? No, I don't think I don't think it's safe to call that a trauma bond.
No, I think we healed together because, like.
We came so far.
how she said, like, I was living so fast. I ain't never been checked before, ever. So I was living a certain way, and she was like, Kim, you're gonna crash. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I did crash. So when I was crashing, she was like, you're crashing because you've been on go mode for all these months. But, like, respectfully, in my defense, it's like when you're in survival, that's all you know is how to survive. So it's like my life, like I said, completely changed. I had to figure out now how to survive on my own. I'm not near my family. My family has been my backbone through everything. So it was like living life without them and really having to figure out how to be an adult by myself. And it's like I always felt like I was an adult. I always felt like I was an independent. I've been working since forever. Like, I've always made money, but now it's like, you can make money, but can you survive? And that's when shit got different. And I was like, so when shit did come crashing, she was like, you're living too fast and you're not even enjoying the work you're putting in.
Yeah, I told you that, and I told you, in the midst of your crashing out, I definitely told you, like, you don't get to enjoy the perks of what you're working hard for because you so on go, you don't get to come. Now, if y'all notice, if you follow her on Instagram, you'll see her in the house on a Sunday, and she's here, she's relaxed. When I met her, that was not her life. It was like, you just sleep in that bed, bro. You don't even need a couch. You don't need nothing in your kid. Like, she was just so on go. It's like, you don't get to enjoy the perks of your home because you living so fast. You got to take time and just have me time. Kim didn't know what me time was.
But I just feel like that's a lesson in life for everybody. Mm-hmm. I just feel like sometimes, and I feel like that comes from, like, the way we was raised. Like, we're raised with, like, financial trauma that's just been passed down. So it's like everybody is so, like, nervous on, like, how we gonna get it, or being so successful, or, oh, you gotta go to work and you gotta do this and you gotta do that. And it's like we're in this, like, hamster, and, like, nobody realizes, like, we're just passing time. Like, we're not even enjoying what we're doing all this for. So it's like I just feel like that was, like, a big, like, because, like, I was raised by my mom. She was a hustler. Like, no matter what, my mom was gonna get to it. Like, circumstances came, but my mom was that type. Like, we knew my mom was gonna handle it. Mm-hmm. I became her. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but now, like, looking back, and it's like, yeah, you gonna handle it, but can you handle yourself and be happy while doing it? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I could work 7 days a week, and yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of money, but am I gonna be happy? No. Like, am I walking in my purpose? No. Am I really living in my truth? No.
But you know, you had to crash out. Everybody crashes out at some point. Mm-hmm. But you just didn't see it. You didn't want to feel it. You was kind of numb at that time.
But like I said, that goes back to, like, in life, I just feel like we always, like, put Band-Aids on situations and keep going. Like, we're raised to just put Band-Aid, like, all right, whatever, like, that happened. Oh, it's just a breakup. Like, it's just a breakup, or it's just like this, or it's just that. And it's like, no, it was bigger than that. It was bigger than, it was like, now this is a life transition. That's what I was going
to say. Like, Kim, you don't ever, when you was crashing out, I'm like, you're not feeling it. Mm-mm. She wasn't, you were not trying to feel. I'm like, you're not trying to feel it because you're too busy moving. Stop moving and feel it. Like, you got to bask in it. Like, let it happen because it's going to happen. So when you finally did stop and you felt it, you went through whatever you went through, now look at you. My girl on top. Girl on top. You feeling, how do you feel? Like, I feel like this is like, since I met you, like, this is the best you've been and you keep elevating.
No, I feel like I definitely feel like I gotta get, I mean, I feel like we're always gonna feel like we're not doing enough, mm-hmm. but I feel like I had to go, you know, when you go through certain things, you question God's purpose. Like, God, why would you do this to me? Why would you put me here? Mm-hmm. Why would you make me move all the way out here mm-hmm. to just make things crumble like that? And then it was like, I look back at it and it's like, there's been times where, like, in the past, I used to write, like, at that time, you know, manifestation, we all talk about it.
No, it ain't no manifestation. You live by your manifestation.
Yeah, like, I used to write, like, I'm going to live in a luxury building and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I think the epiphany is, like, I was sitting here one day and I was so stressed. That's when my crashing out came. I was stressed and I was crying. Like, I was at the worst point in my life and I was crying. And I was like, reading this book. I forgot what I read, and it just hit me. And I'm like, I'm sitting here and I'm crying because I can't handle all this that's on my plate. But yet I'm sitting in a blessing that I asked for so long, and I didn't think I could do it on my own. And now God is showing me, like, you're doing it on your own. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but you're doing it on your own. No lie, the next day, I got a call from the job that I'm in now. And when I picked up the phone, I was like, if you know, I've been bartending for so long, and bartending like trapping. Like, you make money so fast that it's like, fuck am I going to a job for, working a week, and I can make that in a day. But I was like, I was in the worst point of my life. Now, I won't say I'm the worst point of my life. I was in the worst financial situation. I was in the worst, like, growing pains. I was in those. So I feel like I was stripped of everything. Like, I was stripped of the money, comfortability. I was stripped of my comfort level because I had a family. Like, my family, like I said, is my backbone. So it's like I never had to explore outside of what I was used to, because it's like I could make money and pay my little rent at my mom's house, but it was not no, like, you know, if I was late on my rent, my mom's not going to kick me out. Now I got to worry about eviction. Like, now I got to worry about different things. So it's like, and I can't
lights stay on, food in the fridge.
I can't just be like, all right, I can't handle it, I got to go. Now somebody's name is on this, somebody credit on the line. So I looked at the job like, man, whatever, I'm going to take it. In my head, I was like, my salary is going to cover this, and I'm a bartender, and I'll, like, this is my way of coming back. And again, manifestation, I kept saying, like, this is going to be my last year bartending. I didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to do it, where I was going. And I got a call from the job or whatever. And when I say no application, no experience, no nothing. I had nothing. All I had was an Instagram follower that asked me if I wanted a job. And I was like, whatever. And I actually saw another interview, and it was like somebody said, like, with insurance is a game you get put on. You don't just you don't just, oh, I'm going to go do insurance. Like, insurance is a game you get put on. So, he was like, you know, have you ever thought about selling insurance? I'm like, no. Why would I sell insurance? But again, like, I felt like I got stripped of everything, and I'm out of my comfort zone. So now I'm taking anything. Now it's like, yeah, I'm going to sell insurance, because now, like, it's just, the money sounds like, damn, I can make that, and I don't have to bartend. I don't got to work all night. I don't have to work like this. I can enjoy my family. It was sounding, and again, you don't see your blessings while they're coming. You see it like, damn, at one point I prayed for this. I asked for this. But you going through so much, you don't even realize the transitions that's happening. I wasn't realizing, like, I'm sitting literally in my blessing. Right. I'm sitting, like, I'm crying so much that how am I going to afford this rent? But I'm not realizing I'm sitting in the blessing that I asked for. Right. So, yeah, that was my part.
That was very, like, you really did transition.
Yeah.
Like, y'all, if it was a movie, child, we was in here like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, but we made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
I just feel like when you start changing, I feel like mindset is a big thing. When you start changing your mindset.
I feel like I used to think that too, because before I moved here, I used to be super stressed out like that too. Like, not even just like bills, just life period, because I'm a mother. So,
bitch, I'm a mother.
What's wrong with my kid? Bitch, I'm a mother. I heard I heard somebody say one time, like, yo, y'all be stressing. Stress literally kills people. Like, you will die from being stressed out. And I used to stress myself out about every little thing. And that's a little bit of postpartum as well. So I'm like, what the fuck am I stressing for? I don't want to die because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or whatever, or the anxiety. Once I stop stressing or whenever something is happening, I now let it happen. Because if I can't control it, let it fucking happen. Yeah. So once I started living with that mind state, like, all right, like, everything is not flowing the way it's supposed to, just let go and let God. And I know it's like a cliche, but like once I started to let go, the next day shit was just happening, just the same way you just said it. Like once I let it go, like you know what, it's nothing I could do about it. I'm not about to stress it. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm just roll with the punches. Shit just started fixing itself.
Because it's like now you're putting your faith. You're not trying to change the story that he has for you. You're putting your faith in him. Yeah. So it's like anything that, like, that's what I be saying now when I be catching myself, because we're human. Like, we're human. We're always going to want to control our situation. Whenever I catch myself, like, trying to control the outcome, I'm like, you know what? Whatever this is, I trust in you. Like, I don't know where I'm going, how I'm heading. Like, even how I said with my job, like, you know, I'm sitting in the job that you put me in, and shit not rolling the way it's supposed to. Do I give up? No. So it's like I sit there and I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm gonna let you do your thing, because clearly
do your big one. G-O-D. Do your big one. Yeah, I mean, he ain't fellas yet. So yeah, we kind of met on some like weird life changing experience, and we kind of held each other down. And it has been that, and it's just so crazy to me now that I'm realizing, like, you meet a lot of people, but it ain't never been this. Because, like, we were, like, God must have knew, like, we were going through the same shit, kind of. Like, you know, I have a kid, so my situation is always going to be a little different. But we were going through shit and holding each other down. Like, just met, not saying too much, because, you know, I don't know her, she don't know me, so we're not really giving too much, but we giving enough where it's like, girl, you could do better. You do this or do that. And, like, what really made me, bless you, what really made me, like, gravitate to her when people ask, like, oh, how y'all friends? I'm like, I'm used to friends who, like, if something is going on, I'm not answering my phone. And, like, she'd be like, what's wrong with you today? When she calls you, it's like, hey, friend, hey, sister. And I'm on the phone, and I'm like, I'm a calm, too. Kim is on 11. Fucking 10, she's on 11. So if I'm going through something, I'm trying to figure something out, and she calls me or anybody calls me, it's like I don't have time to sit and talk on the phone with you. I got shit going on. But what I realized about Kim was like she's a problem solver, and she's like trying to help me. Because I have friends that you'll call and they'll be like, oh, damn, that's crazy. What you going to do? I don't have time for that. Bye. Or I'm not answering the phone. But now it's like I can't avoid this girl because she's, hello, why, I didn't speak to you today. And then she'll knock on the fucking door. So
wow, you made me sound like a stalker.
No, not like that, but like that. Like, you're a good friend. Like, yeah. She's like, I don't know how to. I had to learn how to be a good friend even before her. But with her, it's just like, bitch, if you going through something, we're gonna figure this shit out together. And she always had I know a guy. I know a guy. Like, whatever I'm going through, like, at one point my car had got stuck out here. Some shit wouldn't turn. Something happened with my car. She was like, I know a guy. You need a tow truck. I know a guy. You need a car? I know a guy. Like, she just knows a guy. Like, I'm just going to say she knows a guy. But she's always been a problem solver. She was never the friend I'd be like, damn, that's crazy. Even if you want to take the car? You want me to pick DJ up from school? Like, that's the type of friend that she was. And I'm like, damn, like, that's some real genuine shit that I'm not really used to. Not trying to say anything about my other friends. But for me to have just met her to be in my corner like that was some real shit for me. Because if you know me, I'm going to handle my shit by myself. So I wasn't used to somebody that was willing to take on half my burden. And I appreciate that.
I wouldn't even call that a burden. It's just like, it's how you said, like, you know, you got to know your friends. And it's like, life is life. Life going to happen.
Life be lifing around here.
Right? And it's like, life be lifing. But it's like, I noticed, like, even in my past relationship, like, I noticed that, you know, you get so caught up in whatever you have going on, you forget, like, about, you know, other things. And it's like, I never want to be that person again. I never want to forget my friends, forget my family, like, forget, you know, like, yes, your relationship is important, but then it's also, like, these are also relationships in different ways. Like, you know.
That's a topic, though.
Yeah, like.
You get a lot of girls get in relationships, and that's it.
And I used to say, like, I will never be that girl, and I became that girl. And, like, looking back at it now, I'm like, I can never, especially, like, with me and her, it's like it's like it became a joke where it's like, you date me, you date us. Like, yeah. This is very much a three-way relationship, yeah. Because I'm not gonna stop me and my friends' routine because you're here.
Right.
Like,
we could create our own routine, but know that I have a routine with my
right.
friends.
So it's like, yeah, we gonna build, but it's also like, this is like, and I don't even call her, at this point, I don't call her my friend. I'll be like, oh, that's my sister. Mm-hmm. Like, and again, we get asked all the time, like, how if y'all just met? And it's like, I don't care if I met her.
Really, that's like meeting a nigga there. You be like, oh my gosh.
Right, how people just meet a guy and get married in 6 months.
Nigga, well, we gotta explain it. Like, we clicked, we vibed. Like, it was genuine, too. It wasn't like no fake shit or like, it wasn't forced. I'm not even say fake shit. It wasn't forced. Like, we didn't like overnight be like, oh, we're best friends. Like, no, we built it, too. But that wasn't for nobody to really.
And how she said, like, God put us in a situation, like, put us in a situation of uncomfort, put us in a situation of healing. And then on top of it, was what we said the other day to your sister. My lease was over in May. I swore up and down I was getting out of this building. I was praying about getting out of this building.
What my mom said, she was like, y'all gonna cry.
I was like, praying about getting out this building. I'm like, my lease is about to be over, new beginnings, a new start. But like I said, I've never fully been on like my own. This is my first apartment by myself. And I feel like that could be a topic. Like, really, like, life by yourself. Like,
for the first time, yeah.
Because I feel like women don't move out until they're with a man.
You think so?
I mean, it used to be. I feel like now women are starting to, like, really be, like, independent on their own. But usually, like, women don't know how to live on their own. Most women leave their mom or their parents' house once they're, like, with somebody.
That is true. I left alone. Nigga moved in a year later. That fast. And a year after that, I was pregnant. So, yeah, that's how that goes. Like, you're not wrong about that. That's normally how it goes.
I was, like, so excited about moving. When I tell you, I applied to every building in the vicinity, and I got denied from every single one of them.
Every building in the 50-yard.
Yo, I literally got denied for every single one of them, and I'm like, now you question God's plan. So I'm like, God, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Like, I literally was crossing my T's and dotting my I's this whole time. I'm saving money. I'm doing this. I'm making sure
I'm working legit.
Like, I got a legit job. Like, I'm making sure everything is aligned so I could start this new chapter. Why can't I leave this apartment? Because, again, this apartment has a whole nother, like, it had a whole nother life in it. And I was feeling like I was walking in a new life. I needed a new leaf. Denied from everywhere. So then I renewed my lease. I'm like, you know what? I can't go back to my mom's house, so I renewed my lease here. But now I'm sitting in it and I'm thinking, like, we was thinking about it the other day, because we was like, oh my God, we're gonna cry when we leave each other. Like, she's like a safety blanket. Mm-hmm. I'm like, we're really gonna cry when we leave each other. And her mom said it, my mom said it. Like, everybody was like, you guys are really going to go through it, and you're not realizing you're going to go through it when you guys aren't together.
Because we developed a routine.
Mm-hmm. Girl, I call her, you want coffee?
We have, like today we had a coffee date this morning. Like, we had a recap, but it was a coffee date. Or we'll do, like, supermarket runs. Or, her walk. She just loved to walk. I don't know why. You want to go for a walk? Like, we'll go for a walk. Or, like, we developed a routine where we seeing each other almost every day, or, we're just so close now that when it ends, what the fuck I'm going to be by myself. And that's how it started. Like, we started here by ourselves in, like, this very nervous space, and then we found comfort in each other. So it's like, if she
But leaves, I feel like the same when you said with me, like, I was on go, you was not, like, you barely was ever here.
So when I moved in, I got my keys in September. I didn't move in until the end of October. And even when I did move in, like, I was forced to move in because I had my own. We'll talk about my situation. I had my own situation. So I was like, all right, fucking now. I got to go there. And then even once I did come here, I was still in the Bronx. Like, this apartment was just, I used to come here just to flush the toilets. Because I noticed, like, I wasn't there for 3 weeks. Now it's starting to stink because there's no water in the toilets. And the water turning on is going, like, that's how long I wasn't here. Just paying the rent, not coming to the apartment. So I was on go too, and it was kind of like I was running. I was terrified to be here by myself. Like, I lived on my own before this, but I was terrified to be here by myself in a new light. Now when I first moved out, I moved out as a single 23, 24-year-old, and now I'm moving to Jersey with a kid. So it's just like, this is another new life for me. Mm-hmm. So I was fucking terrified. Like, I was scared. Like, I had my own reasons to be scared, but I was scared.
Yes, I just feel like I got denied from everywhere to And God's plan was to keep us together. Because it's like...
He just wasn't done with us yet.
And I feel like, like, it's like we talked about a podcast. We talk about so much together. And it's like she said, like, he just wasn't done with us yet. And we weren't realizing it because you go through life and you just feel like this is the way life is. No, there's a plan behind it. And I feel like that's why when people don't get it, it's like, but this is not for you to understand. It's not for you to understand. I really
don't know what God has in store for us, but I feel like it's way bigger than us just living next door to each other.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because it was like, and then what I'd be saying, like, I'd be reading the book. I was reading this book one day, and it was like something, whatever, along the lines, mid-reading, like, we should do a podcast. And I text her, and I'm like, yo, I really feel like we should do a podcast because we really be talking. Like, when we say, like, unprovoked, it's because when I say things is set to, like, really, like, bring out the worst in us, and when we be saying, like, we're healing. All right, we're healing. That doesn't mean we're healed. We are healing. So things can be sent to us, and we be on the phone like, da-da-da, can you believe, blah, blah, blah. And it's like talking one off the ledge. So I'm like, yo, we should do a podcast. She was like, yo, it's crazy. Like, I really thought about that years ago. Like, I really wanted to. It just, it wasn't clicked. Like, it wasn't the right situation.
Yeah, I didn't have the right person. And, like, the person that I wanted to do the podcast with, their journey was different. So, like, I'm very unfiltered. And it just wouldn't have worked out for them. Because they would have had to, be in a shell and, they would have had to, like, cover up. Like, it just wouldn't have worked. So when I met this one here, she's classy, but child, we get to go. But it just, like, when she said it, I'm like, yo, I really did want to do a podcast. And now that she says it to me, it's like, she's the perfect person to do it with.
We're like, what she said, like, I'm not saying we are totally opposite. Like, totally opposite. Like, she be calling me and I'm like, how I give her advice, I'll be like, I love you, but...
When she about to tell me about myself, she'll go, sis, I love you, but... And I know, all right, let me, because I know it's coming. Like, she about to give me the cold, hard truth.
But meanwhile, vice versa, I'll call her and she'll be like, bro, stop calling me about this shit. I'm like, what's it?
I give her like 2 times to go, all right, I don't want to hear about this shit no more after today. Like, it's done. We're done with that.
She be like,
today,
you done?
We're not talking about it. We talk about it tomorrow. I'm not talking about this shit today. We not, just no.
You like, she really, like, when I say a friend catch feelings, like, she going through it, like, I have seen her press somebody that I was messing with. Like, it was her man. Like,
I'd be ready to fight.
In the street, like.
I'd be ready to fight. So, what's up? Period. Like, I don't give a fuck who, what's up? She gonna come and do her little cutesy ones. I'm not on no cutesy shit. Let's get down to the fucking business. What's up? And that's just how we like so opposite. Like, she'll let shit slide that I'm not letting slide, and vice versa. So it's just like, and she gonna pick up on something. Your intuition never lies. Your intuition don't ever lie. When she be like, I feel like, it's just like, I don't even know what you call it. She be like, I know I'm right. Like, I feel like something is not right. And then she be say it, and then it really don't be right.
Like, that's a Raven moment where she be
like that. Like, it's sick. It's almost sick that you do that. You be like, I don't know. I just got a feeling. Like, and you know what you know. That's what I be saying. Like, you know what you know. And you be right.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every
you
time.
ain't been wrong yet, girl. So, yeah.
So, if you watching this and you trying to shoot your shot, just know the feelings is there.
She's into like, and that's the thing. You're into. I don't like to keep saying she. You're into manifesting and stuff like that. I'm kind of like just on go. Like, whatever's gonna happen, gonna happen. And then you like you journal. Journal. Like, I'm not a journal. I used to, but remember that time? Remember not too long ago, I was upset and I said I had to write it out and I wrote it in my notes and I was like, I feel so much better.
Bro, call me. Meanwhile, I've been like, we said this was gonna be a topic in the future, but we had talked about like how she just said like everybody go-to person. Everybody. Like everybody, when I say Shanice's phone be off the hook all day, she is everybody go-to person. And I used to see her and talk to her and she used to be like, what she say? I just need to be alone. And she'd be like, I have no energy. And I, like, you know,
you didn't understand it.
You know, like we said, we was building a friendship. So now it's like, this is a new person in my life. It's like when you start dating somebody, like you notice patterns. So I would notice when those comments were coming up, like, I just need to be alone. I just want to go to sleep. I'm like, Shanice, it's midday. What are you talking about, going to sleep? And it was like her energy level was like at 0. So like I said, I kept seeing when these situations were happening, and I used to tell her, like, Shanice, you're everybody's go-to person, but you're depleted. Like, your battery pack is depleted.
Yeah, I think that you were really patient when you met me, because I'm really hard. Like, I'm hard to deal with, and I know that. Like, in any relationship, I'm hard to deal with because I be so closed off. So it's like, if you don't know me, then it's just like, the fuck. Like, I wouldn't be patient with me. It's like a bit, like you said, like, damn, you so up and down. Like, why you? I remember the first time you called me and you see me on the 2. You was like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Nothing." I'm like, "Kim, this is how I am all the time."
Oh my God, that's what irked me. She was like, "Kim, this is how I am."
I gave you an ick.
You did.
We gonna talk about her icks in an episode. This girl got so many icks. I icked you. All right. Whatever.
Wait, what did you say the title was?
Wait, I wrote it down. Icks. Kicking the icks. We gotta kick her icks. We gonna stick a pin in that. But Kim gets so many icks. But I icked you.
Girl, she was like, "This is just how I am, bitch. I know this is not how you are. I talk to you every day."
She was like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "This is just how I am. Like, I'm like this all the time." You like, no, you're not. I'm like, I am. I'm like this all the time. Like, I'm really like this all the time. And you was just like.
So I let her have it that day. And then I'm like, all right. I let her have it because it was too soon.
Bitch, I ain't gonna get in your ass today.
It was too soon to be her preacher, but I was like a vessel to God.
You was, because you were, like, when I say you are patient, a lot of girls don't do that. You be like, oh, well, like, I just met this bitch a couple months ago. She already acted funny. Like, fuck her. Like, I don't need her. I got friends. Like, but you were patient. You were like analyzing me. Like, it's crazy.
Like I said, you know, like I feel like if we all as women put in as much as we put in wanting to be in a relationship, we would really have better relationships all around. Like,
can we do a topic right now?
Yeah.
Based off what you just said, as far as the relationships, because I feel like a lot of women, we be so, like you said, we be so caught up in men that we don't understand. Like, when you stop being friends with somebody, that's like a breakup. Losing a friend is just as bad as, like, it's like a breakup. So it's just like, you learn, like, us learning each other was like starting a relationship. So for me, that's like when you dating a guy and this is the first time y'all have an argument, or the first time you notice. Oh my God,
first argument, that shit hurt.
You see a new version, you be like, what the? This ain't no good morning, man.
That shit cut deep. You be crying for a day,
right? You be so confused. Like, now you looking at the phone all day. Like, is he gonna text me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with building a friendship. But I guess with me, it definitely goes like in that direction, because I was hot and cold, but I wasn't hot and cold with her. I was just hot and cold with the shit that I be going through every fucking day. It's annoying. So like, my phone rings all the time. So it's just like, by the time she called me, it might have been 4 or 5 o'clock. I've already answered the phone 7, 8, 9 times, listening to everybody's fucking problems and what they need. And so by the time I'm on the phone with Kim, it's just like, girl, what?
And I feel like now too, Shanice made me realize, like, because I was so patient with her, and like, because like I built, I noticed what being patient, I really talk about her like she my man. I really noticed what being patient and putting work into a friendship feels like.
Bitch, I'm a lot. Wait, let me say that. So sometimes my phone, like, it's a good pit. Sometimes my phone will ring and I'll be like,
I be like,
said, you better do that when I call. You better be acting like
she
that
be
when
like,
I call.
oh my God, what she want? I said, bitch,
like, I don't feel like talking right now.
I swear to God, you better not do that when I call you.
She'll look at me like, you act like that when I call, and I'll be like, no. She was like,
you know when people lie to you, like,
but I didn't. No, in the beginning, I'm like,
you know when bitches be like, this is my first time doing this, bitch, don't play with me.
Yeah, like that. And when she said it to me, I was like, damn, I didn't realize like it might look like that. But no, I like the same way she had to learn me and have patience with me, I had to learn, okay, my friend is gonna call me today. We're gonna talk on the phone. She's gonna answer and say, what you doing, friend? And once I got through that, like once I navigated through my shit, it's like this girl don't mean no harm. Like like this is a genuine friend, and then she not calling me talking about the same bullshit every day. Like, cause that's one thing, you cannot call me and talk about the same thing every day. Cause what we talking about? I could talk to you in 4 days and we can just catch up like that. But once I navigated through that, and it's just like, I bet, like I actually enjoy being this kind of friend. Like, I enjoy her company. I enjoy talking to her. I enjoy, like, the shit that we do and everything else like that. So, yeah, she was patient with me.
I
was
like
a lot. I'm sorry.
Shanice taught me.
Oh, you a dinner. I was a lot.
Okay. Shanice taught me the importance of, like, actually building, like, it's not always about you. Like, that's what she taught. Like, I taught her that, but she taught me that as well. Like, it's not always about you. Like, I was in probably one serious relationship in my whole entire life. And I won't say, like, if he was off, I would have been like, the fuck wrong with you? Like, instead of realizing, like, boom, 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 like, whatever. That's besides the point. But it was just, like, I put in so much work in my friendship that it's, like, now I could navigate through life being, like, you know, I could see, like, you know how Shanice was, like, she might have just, I might took it personal, like, the fuck she answering the phone acting like that for it. But now it's like, this is my friend, and now I'm starting to pick up on things she's really going through. So it's like, I can't take everything that girl does personal. So that taught me just like a lesson in life, period. And I feel like that's a lesson for a lot of people, because it's like I said, like, I could have answered with them like, why would I want to deal with an up and down friend? Like, and I had went through something with another one of my best friends, and when we finally talked, it was like, I don't know, 2 months later, 3 months later. And she said something to me that stuck out. And she was like, like, you know, as women, we forgive our exes. We forgive the person we're fucking with, our situation, whatever. She was like, you'll forgive this guy, but you won't give, like, I was your sister. And she was like, I was your sister, and you acted like I was dead to you. I was like, who?
Real shit.
And I was like, I couldn't even, you know when you have a rebuttal because you like trying to defend yourself? I was like, I couldn't say nothing because it was like, yo, you're right. I'm like, this is my sister. Like, I literally consider that girl my sister, where, you know, we all call each other's mom's mom. Like I said, I don't call Shanice my friend no more. I'll be like, that's my sister. And this girl was my sister, and she was like, you'll drop me, but you'll give another man another chance. Mm-hmm. I'm like, whew.
That's life though. That's just how women are. We be so quick to like dismiss our friends or not even give it a shot. But when it comes to a nigga, it's just like over.
Me and my man.
That's unfortunate though. But
yeah.
You gotta learn. You live and you learn and you grow. So I'm glad y'all was able to mend that.
I definitely feel like that should be a topic too, like, because I don't feel like it's. I can't even say it's a select woman. I think it's all women all around. But we was raised this way. Like, we, as kids, what does everybody tell you?
You're never taught to be a friend.
No, you're taught to be a wife and a mother and like a girlfriend. Like,
so, like, I feel like in a sense, when you, depending on how you grow up, like they say, a lot of Spanish women are raised to cater to men, which is true. Like 99% of Spanish women are raised to cater to a man. Black women are raised to survive. Because a lot of us grow up being raised by a single mom. Like, period. Like, I don't know. I think my mother and my father split when I was like 2. But I'm raised now to survive on my own. I'm not raised to cater to a man. I'm raised to do it by yourself, be independent, which is why a lot of people be like, oh, you can't be with no black women because they too headstrong or they want to be the man. No, we don't want to be the man. This is just how we raise. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you're not taught to be a friend. And that's like some sick shit. Like, you not
and that's
taught
the thing,
to be
like,
a friend.
I mean, I'm Italian, so my culture is the same. Like, everything is about family. Mm-hmm. Family. Yo, you drilled with family. My brother actually taught me, like, family isn't because we're blood. Family is, like, the people who put work in. Like, those my family. That's why when I say, like, that's my sister, it's that you did enough for me to consider you my family. Like, you do more for me than people that do got my same blood. So it's like, why can I be like, oh, that's my family, but I can't call you my family? But, you know, we're raised on family. But in my aspect, I was raised as a survivor as well, because I saw my mom literally get it out the mud in all ways possible. So it's like I wasn't raised to be anything, not a friend, not a wife, not a mother. I wasn't raised to be anything but a hustler. Yeah. Like, when you see me, you'll be like, you can go on my Instagram, I might have 7 jobs. Like, I swear to God, I might be here one day and somewhere else tomorrow.
When I met this girl, I was like, where do she sleep? You take naps? like literally, like I might be coming in with my son or something, and she's like, yeah, I'm about to go upstairs and take a nap. I gotta go to work tonight. But what day you off? I'm off Wednesday, but like I do gotta go on that night. Like what? Like when do you go to sleep? Like, when do you get to sit on your couch?
I will have a day job. I will have a day job. I will go from a day job to a night job, and on my days off, I will get another job. I will sell lashes.
That was important to me.
I will sell you.
That was important to me though, like as a friend, to like, you know, like I always tell you, you gotta feel it. So it was important to me, like as you're like becoming your friend, for you to understand, like sit down, like sit down, take a breath, and see what the fuck is going on around you, because you in a whirlwind right now. You don't even see what's happening. You can't feel what's going on in your life. You just kind of just going, and it's like, no, Kim, you gotta relax.
Right.
Take a breath. You was not like, you were literally. I was like, this bitch gotta be tired. Or is she on fucking Adderall? Like, what? Like, how are you doing it? Like, doing it, though. Doing it.
But it's like what you said. Like, you know, we raised a certain way. Like, I was raised to be nothing but a hustler. Like, I saw a hustler. I became a hustler.
That's how
so it was like, I wasn't raised, like.
If you watch your mother stay home, cook, clean, do dishes,
that's
right,
what I would have been. And I won't sit there and say like she didn't, you know, cater to her home. She did, but she was a hustler. Like my mom can work 80 hours a week and not take a nap. So like that's where it come from. So it's like even like parts of like being weak, I remember like crying, and she'd be like, well, what's that gonna do for you? Like get up and get to it. Like so I wasn't raised really to deal with emotions, and now, you know, you get older, you dealing with things, and it's like I said, like, building a friendship like this, Shanice is the only person I have, like, here, especially, but now it's like, that is, like, my main source, so it's like, I have to be patient with this person. I don't talk to her for 3 days, who am I going to talk to?
I told her, I said, we're going to not talk for 3 days. No, we not. What you mean we're going to not talk for 3 days? And then the next day, I think I called you.
I said, what happens in 3 days?
What happens in 3 days? I was like, bitch, stop playing with me. We're not doing that. We don't do that around here.
You know, so it's like,
you think we codependent?
No.
Can we not talk for 3 days?
We probably can. You was just in Jamaica. I barely talked to you.
Well, we talked.
Barely.
We didn't see each other, but we talked. We talked. We definitely talked.
Whatever.
I left you, friend. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It almost ended our relationship.
I got over here so early, like, bitch, I'm going to Jamaica. What? Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe it's not a codependent relationship. Is it?
No.
You sure?
Codependent is when my mood bases off your mood.
I don't know.
Like, if you're upset, my day is ruined because you're not talking to me.
But like, all right, but if we don't talk, what's going to happen?
My day's not going to be ruined.
Mine might be.
I'm going to just be like, hello,
like,
bitch.
Like, for instance, this morning, I'm waiting for her to wake up. I'm shaking. Like, oh my God. Like, wake up. I'm FaceTiming her. I'm calling her, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm just like moving
Wait,
around
why
my
yesterday
house.
we at the bar? Why yesterday?
Just doing shit, because I'm like, Kim, wake up.
Why yesterday we at the bar? She's like, somebody says to her, I know you. I see you on Kim's Instagram. She was like, because she's obsessed with me. I said, bro, you're equally obsessed with me. Like,
period.
Why you gonna act like it's just me?
Yeah, I this morning, I was like, oh my God. Wake up. And I know she texted me at 4:39, so it's 9. I'm up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I know this bitch ain't up, but I want her to get up so bad, like get up. And then she's like, you want coffee? I was like, yes.
Actually, I'm at your door.
Bitch, I'll be there in a second. I've been pacing back and forth outside this bitch, like wake up. But yeah, that's why I feel like that. Like
I feel like my best tip also to girls who aren't living on their own yet and are looking to live on their own. I would advise living in a building because you might meet your soul sister. So
You might.
I feel like being single and living by yourself, I feel like a building is like literally the biggest blessing. You meet so many people. Granted, you're not going to talk to all your neighbors. Mm-hmm. You know, God bless me with this one. But, you know, like, I feel like it's just
That's just like people who move from like state to state. Like let's say I moved from a different state, but that shit ain't about nothing.
Yeah.
It take me 30 minutes to get back home. So it's like moving like that's scary to move to another state. You don't have nothing, and that was always my worst fear. Cause before moving here, I wanted to move to Atlanta or to Houston. Those were my two options. This shit wasn't even in the works.
Right.
Like I was on the phone with my cousin in Atlanta. Like bro, like I'm finna come out there. I'm gonna just stay with y'all for a little bit. Like that was what was happening with me. I'm like, I'll figure it out when I get there. She was like, okay, my aunt okayed it. Like, I was on my way to Atlanta. And I was like so scared. Like, my whole, like, my support system, my backbone is in New York. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm going to rebuild. And I just happened to come across this building and another building, like the sister building to this one. And I had this interview first, and then I had the interview with them like 3 days later. I came here, I viewed the building. I was like, that's it. I'm going. I like taking a ride. I'm like, damn, this is kind of far. I'm away by the airport. Like, fuck it. I'm like, if I like it, I'm taking it. Like, I'm going to wing it. I'm going to figure that shit out. Mm-hmm. And then I took it, and I'm like, okay, I could do this. Like, this is before I even make, I'm like, all right, I could do this. Like, this is cool for me. I was terrified because I'm a city girl. Like, I'm used to being able to walk to this corner store and shit like that. So being here was just like, it was scary. And then I met Kim, and then it got a lot less scary.
Yeah.
But I realized that I could do it. That's why I was like, moving to Atlanta. That shit terrified me. Now I'm like, I did this, and I'm able to not see my family for 2-3 weeks at a time. Oh, I could fucking go. I could move it. I could do anything now. Like I feel like Superwoman. Mm-hmm. This was a leap for the both of us.
I feel like
for different reasons though.
I think in this podcast series, like we're gonna talk about like you face challenges, and I said earlier, like, you question God. But now, it's like what you said, like, you go through something, now you unstoppable. Now you can't nobody tell you nothing. I just feel like this podcast, we're going to talk about, like, friendships, relationships, life sending you lemons, and you got to make lemonade. Like,
no, deadass, that's us every day.
Literally.
Figure it out.
Like, like, when we say, like, unprovoked, it's like things are going to provoke you. How you going to handle it? It's your new self versus your old self every single day. Which self is you going to take? Are you going to take the better version or what you was taught? You going to keep carrying that bag of trauma, or are you going to heal through it and respond differently? And I feel like in this podcast, we're going to talk about, as women, how we gonna
how
because now, like I said, we in two different. She's a single mom by herself. I am single, don't got no kids. I've never been in like a long term, like, no, I've been in a relationship, but I ain't never like, I wasn't close to certain things. So it's like now it's like so I am a single girl just living.
Yeah, it's so night and day. Like, yeah, we're all right, so we're both single. But I'm a single mother. I'm coming out of an almost 10-year relationship. I'm doing this shit by myself with a kid now. And it's like, for her, it's like, I'm coming from my mom's house, coming out of a relationship. I'm on my own now. I got to figure this shit out day by day. But we navigating through it together.
Like finding your career, finding your people. Because it's
like
purpose. Finding your purpose. It's like, that's really what it is. Like, you're walking in your purpose. And it's not linear. It's not linear, and it's never going to be linear, but I feel like having a solid foundation, whether it be your family, whether it be your relationship, or whether it be your friends, who's going to help you face these challenges when you are provoked.
And it's okay to have, like, a lot of people, I don't want to say just women, but a lot of people feel like you got to go through it by yourself.
I feel like men go through that.
Shit, but a lot of men do say that.
A lot of men go through that.
They tuck their feelings or whatever, and they be like, well, what I'm going to tell you for, like, when I do get emotional, you think I'm acting like a bitch. Like, I got a lot of guys say that. Like, once they open up and they get
feel like they got to be a man, right?
When they get vulnerable, they feel like women think that they acting like a bitch, so that's why a lot of times they mask their feelings. But
it's even how we talk about ourselves. It's like we were raised as survivor women. Feelings is the last thing we talking about.
That shit when I deal with my feelings. Like, right. My feelings will come when I got time. Right now, get to it. Mm-hmm. Get to it. Figure it out. Like, so.
I just feel like in this season, it's like we're just learning. And as we learn, we're going to go through learning and our lessons with each other. Like, talking about it.
I get to watch us grow.
Yeah, like, you never know. This is what I said. Like, well, now thinking about it and who I am today, we're going to talk about our past experiences as well. I went through a lot of trauma young. And going through it, I used to question my purpose all the time. My story might help somebody else. Same way your story might help, like,
this episode we could tell us.
Right, like, you know, my story might help somebody. And I always wanted to be, like, growing up, I used to be like, I want to be a therapist. They'd be like,
me too. Me too. My mother used to tell me you should help people.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, you're raised in so much, like, commotion, chaos, that you just want to help somebody not feel the way you're feeling. So it's like, now it's like, well, we get to do that.
God, that's so crazy that you said that. See, I learned something that I'm learning too for the first time. That's crazy, because I used to want to open up, like, because I went to an alternative school. This is a part of my story real fast. I went to an alternative school, and in my regular high school, I never felt like I belonged until I got to an alternative school, and I was around a bunch of fuck ups just like me. I'm like, damn, they made a building for fuck ups. Like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. Like, we all pretty much going through the same thing. Like, this girl, this guy, like, they understand my life. Like, they went through the same shit that I went through growing up, which is probably how that would let them hear. So I used to want to open up not a home, but like a safe space for kids that was like me.
Right.
Because in regular high school, I never felt like I belonged.
Right.
Until I got to an alternative school, and I'm like, damn, like, a lot of the girls, like, I thank God I had my mother and my father, but a lot of them are coming from abusive homes, or they coming from, like, taking care of themselves, or they working, and they 16, like, thugging it out. So it's like, damn, like, you really don't have nobody. So we had this lady named Denise. I love Denise. I wish she could come on the podcast. She was like our mother in the school. And I called Denise, and I told Denise, like, damn, Denise, I do think I want to open up a nonprofit for kids like me, with kids like you basically raised. And she was like, I'm with it. And then I kind of got lost in translation, you know. At that point, that was when I was driven by men. So I kind of, like, whatever. But I used to want to help people. Because I'm like, nobody should have to go through what I went through. If somebody's there to talk you through it, right, or talk you down from it.
But I feel like I think that's why in our heart it was so heavy to do a podcast. Like, we ain't trying to give nobody therapy. This is life. Like, this is life. Today we might be talking about God. Tomorrow we might be taking shots. Find out on the next episode. Because that's really how life be around here, all right? Yeah. Today we might be boo-hoo crying, and tomorrow we might be standing on the couch.
You never know.
I might be talking about God today and FNF tomorrow.
Let me get to going.
But yeah. So on our next episode, I think we're going to talk about our story.
I think that'll be good. That's a good transition. Because then y'all get to understand why I act like the way I act. Why I say the shit I say.
Sure.
But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Period.
Cool.